So this is going to be another movie review. This one's called Random Harvest 1942. Giving it 2 out of 5 stars. I dislike this movie. It's going to be another lame stream. Only that later got colorized. It's a 1942 U.S. romantic drama film based on the 1941 James Hilton novel, the same title, same guy who wrote Goodbye, Mr. Chips, which was more enjoyable, I think. Would I give Goodbye, Mr. Chips? This could be a World War I amnesia romance with redhead Greer Garson. Her performance was well received, but she was ineligible for the Academy Award for Best Actress, as she had already been nominated that year for her role in Mrs. Miniver. A lot of characters from Mrs. Miniver in this one. You've got Greer Garson, Henry Travers, and Reginald Owen. All of them were in Mrs. Miniver from the same year. Goodbye, Mr. Chips. That also has Greer Garson. God, I didn't even notice. Goodbye, Mr. Chips. I liked a little bit better. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. I'm going to have to go back and put Greer Garson's name in Goodbye, Mr. Chips. I didn't even know who she was. She's not attractive. She's a redhead. She's got pale skin and an ugly face. But I like the ending to this. That was the only part that I enjoyed. I thought it was romantic. Anyways, it's directed by Mervyn Leroy. Don't know who that is. Claudine West. George Frushall and Arthur Wimperis adopted the novel for the screen, and they received an Academy Award nomination. The novel keeps the true identity of Paula Margaret a secret until the very end, something that would have been impossible in the film where characters' faces must be seen. This meant that the movie had to take a very different approach to the story. The film stars Ronald Colman, Bulldog Drummond, as a shell-shocked amnesiac, World War I veteran, and Greer Garson is his love interest. He goes after a very young Kitty, but Kitty breaks off the engagement. The film was an instant commercial success. It was nominated for 7 Academy Awards, including Best Actor for Bulldog Drummond, Best Supporting Actress for Susan Peters. Don't know who that is. Best Director for Mervyn Leroy, and Best Picture. Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor in a Leading Role, Best Actress in a Supporting Role, Best Writing Screenplay, Best Music, Scoring of a Dramatic or Comedy Picture, Best Art Direction, Interior Direction, Black and White. All right, so it's lame stream to the core. We got here. Adrian was having trouble finding my Hell Comes to Frogtown review. I don't know what YouTube did, but I only got 1 view from it. And then YouTube reordered it to the end. And now I have 5 views, so it should be up. I posted the link in the comments section. But I guess Adrian went off to work or something. Anyways, it was 2 a.m. when I woke up to get my alpha-lactoic acid pill, my last one. All right. In England, I didn't get nearly as much sleep today as yesterday. I think I'm going to get 14 hours today. I got 16 or 17 yesterday. It was nuts. And there were on this disc there were 2 shorts, the Lux Theater version of it, which I did not enjoy at all. Hosted by Cecil B. DeMille. That one went on for almost an hour. Then it had the 3 trailers. Random Harvest, Goodbye Mr. Chips, and Mrs. Miniver. Then I had to sit 2 hours and 8 minutes through this movie, which I didn't like, but I'm returning it to Netflix before the mailman comes, which is a good thing. I actually woke up from a nap 2 hours earlier than yesterday, or more than that, 2.5 hours earlier than yesterday. All right. So I'm getting a little bit better with my sleeping pattern here. I'm trying. I went off the energy drink and I've just been sleeping most of the time. All right. In England in November 1918, John Smith is a British officer who was gassed in the trenches during the First World War. Poor guy. Having lost his memory and apparently with no means of identification, he is confined to an asylum as an unidentified inmate. On the day the war ends, the gatekeepers abandoned their post to join the celebration in the nearby Midlands town of Melbridge, and Smith simply wanders off. In town, he is befriended by singer Paula Ridgway, Greer Garson. She guesses he is from the asylum, but as he seems harmless, she arranges for him to join her traveling theatrical group. After an incident that threatens to bring unwanted attention, Paula takes Smith to a secluded country village in Devon, where they marry and they are blissfully happy. Smithy, as Paula calls him, discovers he has some literary talent. Paula remains home with their newborn son while Smithy goes to Liverpool for a job interview with the newspaper. He is struck by a taxi. When he regains consciousness, his past memory is restored, but his life with Paula is now forgotten. He is Charles Rainier, the son of a wealthy businessman. None of his meager possessions, including a key, provided any clue about where he has been for the last 3 years. Charles returns home on the day of his father's funeral. Kitty, the stepdaughter of one of Charles' siblings, becomes infatuated with her so-called uncle. Charles wants to return to college, but the mismanaged family business needs him, and he puts off his own desires to safeguard the jobs of his many employees and to restore the family fortune. After a few years, a newspaper touts him as the industrial prince of England. Paula has been searching for her Smithy. Their son died as an infant, and she now works as a secretary. I think she got sick, and then her son died or something. On one day, she sees Charles' picture and story in a magazine. Paula gets hired as his executive assistant, calling herself Margaret Hanson. Paula being her stage name, hoping that her presence will jog his memory. Her confidant and admirer, Dr. Jonathan Bennett, warns her that revealing her identity would only cause Charles to resent her. This John dude was a little bit getting a little bit too cutesy with Margaret Paula. As Kitty grows up, she sends Charles love letters and they become engaged. However, a hymn that Kitty is considering for their upcoming wedding triggers a vague memory in Charles. Kitty, realizing that Charles still loves someone else, sadly breaks off the engagement. Margaret joins Charles in Liverpool, where he is trying one last time to piece together his lost years. They recover his suitcase from a hotel, but he recognizes nothing. He says, "Oh, uh, John Smith," he says, is a rather nondescript name. Charles is approached to stand for Parliament after his election, in which Margaret provides invaluable assistance. He feels the need for a wife in this new role. He proposes to her more as a business proposition than a romantic one, and she accepts. They become an ideal couple, at least for all outward appearances, with Margaret a perfect society hostess. In a moment of reflection, they discuss his lost past, and she tells him of her own lost love without revealing that it is Charles. He hopes their life together can fill the void they both feel. Miserable, Margaret decides to take an extended solo vacation abroad. Before her liner sail, she visits the village where she and Smithy lived. When Charles sees her off at the train station, he is summoned to mediate a strike at the Melbourne cable works. After a successful negotiation, he walks through the town, and the surroundings and celebrations begin to unlock his memories, leading him to a nearby village and the cottage he and Paula shared. Hesitantly, he tries the old key he kept and finds that it unlocks the door. Margaret, about to leave for her boat, makes a casual remark to the innkeeper about her predecessor, Mrs. Deventer. This is part that I don't know who Mrs. Deventer is. I guess it's her predecessor. I don't know. The innkeeper tells her that a gentleman just had that morning had inquired about Mrs. Deventer and had mentioned that he used to rent a cottage near the church. Margaret Wycherley played Mrs. Deventer, and I don't remember her early in the movie. So according to MGM records, the film earned $4.6 million in the United States and $8.1 million worldwide, for a profit of $4.3 million, making it their biggest hit of the season. The film played for a record 11 weeks at Radio City Music Hall in New York, record that lasted until at least the 1960s. Despite its box office success, critics were not impressed at the time. Neither was I. The film was ranked 36 by the American Film Institute in its 2002 AFI 100 Years, 100 Passions list. All right. The film is alluded to in the third season of British sitcom As Time Goes By. Several Indian films were influenced by this film. The Bengali film Harano Sur, the Tamil film Amara Deepam, and its Hindi remake Amar Deep. In 1973, an episode of the Carol Burnett Show featured a spoof of the film called Rancid Harvest. The 1980 blockbuster Pakistani film Bandish was also inspired by this film. The music of the film was composed by Robin Ghosh, who went on to become one of the most renowned melodies of the decade in Pakistan. All right. Warner Home Video released a restored and remastered version DVD format in 2005. I thought it was MGM movie, but Warner got a hold of it. Okay. Home media. All right. So I'll fix Goodbye, Mr. Chips, and I'll put Greer Garson's. The redhead, I'll put her in the description box, her name. Because I watch so many movies, and I've already seen 4 Greer Garson movies. Mrs. Miniver, Goodbye, Mr. Chips, Random Harvest, and what's the other one? Okay, Goodbye, Mr. Chips, Mrs. Miniver, Random Harvest, and there's one more that I can't think of. All right. So I guess I have time to watch Return to Oz, although I do have to take him to baseball practice tonight. Stop off at Safeway, get some final things like bacon, flour, Bundaberg ginger beer, some olive oil, and some I got a bunch of stuff to get. Some Hawaiian punch, some frozen fruits. I've got a lot of stuff to get at Safeway. And I haven't gotten my big check from my mother's estate yet. Hoping to get it today or tomorrow. I do get paid tomorrow, but my checking account is down to $200-something. It's embarrassing. But it is what it is until I find a second job. I think I found 2. But Select Staffing never followed up with me about that warehouse job from 3 a.m. to 11 a.m. That would have had me working like 65 hours a week. I would have been burnt out. Big time, no time to watch movies. So I'll go next Wednesday to talk to the MV Transportation, the bus guy. Let's see what he has in store for me. And that's about it. That's the end of my review. Laters.